So today I want to talk about trusting the universe. The last video I posted was about trusting like your gut instinct, and this is more so. And like the universe is, you are part of the universe, right? Like that's what you're made out of. And I'm gonna explain to you what I mean by my personal story and how like I just trusted that there was something outside of me, right? That was there because I was scared. I didn't really know, like I knew, but I wasn't completely sure. So what I'm talking about is when I was pregnant and I was getting ready to give birth. So when I first went into the doctor, when I went around, I don't know how many months, like 3 months, when I went to find out if it was a boy or a girl, um, every time I went to go lay down, I kept having this really weird feeling, and I was just like, hold on, and then eventually, like I wake up and there's like five people standing around me, and the lady who was doing the ultrasound was like, "You just had a seizure." And I'm like, oh, okay, well, uh, I really want to know if I'm having a boy or girl, and um, I really want to know if I'm having a boy or girl. So I like forced myself to lay down, and eventually they let me know like I was having a little boy, and they were like, you're going to go see a high risk doctor now because you're over the age of 35 or 30 or whatever it is. And you just had a seizure. And I'm like, I understand your concern, but I just don't feel like I need to go see a high risk doctor. I just don't feel that way. And I understand that, I was going to like a conventional doctor. I wasn't in a holistic atmosphere environment. So I was just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So eventually I ended up moving to North Carolina, and so I had to switch all of my information over, all of my medical, my insurance and everything. And I was just like, I just don't feel like I need to be going to a doctor. Like back when our ancestors were pregnant, they weren't going to doctors every few months or a high risk doctor and having ultrasounds. I was just like, I feel okay. And of course, I was like looking into like doulas and like water births and like not a doula, but like a holistic type of person that will come to you. But I didn't have the money for it. So I was just like, I feel okay. Plus, by this time, I had moved from where I was at to completely across the United States. So I was just like, I can't afford this. I don't have anybody here with me. But I didn't even have a car. So I was like, how am I even going to get there? Like, to be able to go to a doctor would have been a headache. So I was just like, I'm okay. I feel okay. I just feel like I'm gonna be okay. So by this time, I'm in North Carolina. I'm just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm I again, like I feel like I'm fine. Yeah, I'm getting uncomfortable. My feet got swollen, but I'm like I just feel okay. And as I'm getting closer to being like I didn't even know what my due date was, but of course I know like you're pregnant for 9 months. This is my fourth. So I knew like okay, like any day now it's going to happen, and my ankles are getting swollen and my feet are getting swollen, which they never did in my other pregnancies, but still I'm feeling like I'm gonna be okay. So I'm just I'm just trusting the universe. I'm just trusting that my ancestors are gonna be there with me like they always are, and just guiding me there, and are gonna be okay. So the days are keep going by, and again I'm just like okay, like any day now, like but every day I keep waking up and I'm like damn, I'm still pregnant. Like but eventually the day came and I'm having contractions all night long. I'm all by myself again on the other side of the United States, away from everybody, away from my family. And I have my two other kids with me, and I'm like, well, I can't go to the doctor. How am I? Where? Well, where are they gonna go? Like, who? what happens? Like I'm considered high risk. I had a seizure. Like, what are they gonna, they're gonna be like, they're gonna rush me in and be, and where, like, no, like, and then I would be so stressed out because I'd be in labor and then worried about where are my other two kids at. Like, it would have been, it would have been a nightmare. It wouldn't have been um a good, a nice process, a good birth. It just wouldn't have been. So um I'm having contractions all night long, and I, my kids finally, my other two children wake up, and I have them come in the room with me because I want them to be a part of it. But then I feel like, okay, he's coming, like he's coming, and the pain was real. It was very painful, and I didn't want to like scar my kids, but I wanted them to be a part of it. But again, I didn't want to scar them and make them think, like, be scared of giving birth. I only have one girl, her giving birth, or my son eventually having his own child and just being there. So I asked him to leave because I felt like he's about to come out, and what's crazy is every time I kept laying on my back, it was so uncomfortable. Like, there was like no position that I could get in that was comfortable. So eventually I just stood up. Now, if I would have went to the hospital, they make you lay on your back, or try to put you in some other position, but just standing up is not, they don't, I not that I know of, but um, they don't, I've never been in a position where they have you standing up there, always have you on your back. And that's when I had the seizure, when I was doing the ultrasound. So I say that to say, if I would have went to the hospital, I don't think I would be here today. um but I trusted the universe that I trusted the universe that I was going to be okay. And so he comes out, and he's born with his umbilical cord wrapped around his neck 3 times, and it was tight. So he was born with his umbilical cord wrapped around his neck 3 different times, and it was pretty tight. And when he came out, he wasn't like screaming, crying. Not that they, not, I know babies don't have to, some babies just don't cry at all when they come out, but because he had his umbilical cord wrapped around his neck, I was like, he's a little bit too chill and too quiet. So I called 911, and then from there, then I went to the hospital just to check him out. But the point I'm making here is that through this whole process, even though some people may say like, oh, well, that's irresponsible of you, you had a seizure and this, and you're too old to be having a baby, I just felt more than okay. I felt fine, and I just trusted that my ancestors were going to be there to help me and guide me. And when, and it was so painful, as I'm sure you know, it was so painful. But, and I don't know, like, I'm not a doula, I'm not I'm not an expert. Like, I've had 4 kids, but I'm not some type of expert in this area at all. And I remember I was like, I don't know when I'm supposed to push, and something just came to me as clear as day. This download was just like, okay, push on your contraction, which I know you're supposed to do that. But after that one, all of this stuff just came out. It was really gross. But then I was like, okay, well, he's still not out. I thought that that's what I had felt. That wasn't him. It was everything else. And then I'm like, okay, so now what? And I'm like, if I ended up standing up. I ended up just standing up because, like I said, I was in so much pain. There was no position that I could get in that would like ease the pain. So eventually, I just ended up standing up because any position I got in was uncomfortable. So I'm just standing up, and I push him on a contraction, and all of this stuff comes out, but he doesn't. And I'm like, okay, if I don't do something and I just stand here, like, I'm gonna keep feeling this pain, this horrible pain. And something again came to me and was like, okay, in 30 seconds you need to push again. And I'm like, I was like in like, I don't know, I guess like fight or flight mode, that I was like, I can't even count. Like, what is 30 seconds? And something again came to me and was like, push now. I pushed again, boom, he came out. So eventually he comes out. He has that umbilical cord wrapped around his neck. So I call 911. We go to the hospital, and I was in North Carolina. I came from Las Vegas. The people in North Carolina, man, let me tell you, they are so nice. They are just like some very friendly, sweet people. And the nurses there were really nice and friendly. And they allowed my kids to stay there. They were like, we usually after a certain time, like visiting hours, like we're not supposed to let them stay. And I explained my situation to them, and they were like, okay. And then they were like, well, we aren't supposed to be, doing this, and we're not supposed to be bringing extra meals. And they were like, we're going to figure this out. If you need extra help outside of this, like if you need help, get like call me personally, like I'll come pick you up. Like the nurses were really really kind. And everything just worked out. It all just ended up working out just like I just felt like it would. I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't sure of the whole process, but it all just worked out. And that's why I was speaking that story to you, so you could understand, like, just trust. No matter how scary it is, you just have to trust that there's something that is so powerful. Yes, it's within you, but sometimes when you're in a position that's that scary, you may have to look outside of you. Remember that you have these ancestors, you have your guides, you have these people that are part of this beautiful universe that are here to support you and to help you. You're not by yourself, you're not alone. Even if you feel like you are, you're not alone. And I can go more in depth in this in another video, but until next time, much love, peace, and namaste, and I love you all.